new about that? Is it the potluck? Have I been asking you to put in width before, and now I'm saying depth? Anything different? Not really. Is it boring? Same old thing. Amber, after this call, testing. Billy, is it coming through? All right.
All right, cool.
Why don't you light them up?
What up, y'all? Y'all ready for some numbers? Yeah. All right, cool. Good stuff. Final expense sell submitted for this week. Marcus Rich, 786. I know they can't see me. Like, it's cutting off all my... Matt, just saying. Matt Goodridge.
You know how important that is. Move on.
That's a good idea. There we go. All right, Matt Goodridge. So again, we'll start from the bottom. Final expense sell submitted. Marcus Richardson, 4,786. Matt Goodridge came in with 4,811. Debbie Ben, 5,061. Michelle Penn, 5,066. Aida Gaudet came in with 5,166. Gabriel Franco came in with 5,169. Ava Rosso came in with 5,388. Good job, Ava. Rebecca Lixie, she's on here 5th place for 5,708. James Coleman came in with 5,906. Shannon Barnhart, 6,023. 2nd place, we've got Carl Grubb with 6,684. And in 1st place for this week's final expense sell submitted, Zach Wright with 9,091. Final expense annualized premium. Woo! So total sales submitted for this week, Nathan Thomas, 9,432. Brian Lankins with 9,548. Nick Neitzel with 9,674. James Coleman, 10,005. Bill Cook, 10,724. George Weinstein with 11,041. Jeremy Patton, 14,102. Dora Wysocki, 14,137. Doug Becker came in with 14,966. Rob Sarge Wilson, 16,152. Shannon Barnhart came in 2nd place with 17,407. 20 applications for this week. And Jonathan Yakey came in 1st place with 21,941. Woohoo! Congratulations, Jonathan. Annuity sales issue paid. John Lehman, 4,391. Tim Tipton, 20,000. Alan Trumbach, 39,274. Minerva Profil with 41,560. Eric Belair came in 2nd place with 42,252. And in 1st place with 155,424, Brant Swindell. Woohoo! Congratulations, guys. And now it is the time, without any further ado, it is my pleasure, as always, to introduce the man of the hour, Mr. Andy Albright. Woo!
All right. So the way the situation is, we're doing good. Company is up from last year. We're closing down the end of the year. We have a contest to give away $100,000 cash. We have a leaderboard that is being posted on Band as we speak. We're going to put the top 33 in each category. The number one producer right now that's a new producer hired in 2018 is Dia Gondor. Dia paid 17 cases this quarter, which is October, and starting into November. 17 cases for $50,000. So Dia stands to earn an extra $5,000 cash if he continues to outpace the rest of his peers. Right behind him is Christian Cameron with 34 cases. So she's issued twice as many cases, but his has been bigger cases. She's at 29. And Jera Gonzalez, who was leading the country for a while, is now at 29,000. Okay. This is critical. Okay. I'm not sure if people are listening to me, but I explained to some people a system of going 6-4-2, meaning you hire 6 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in width, and then each one of them hire 4 people, and then each one of them hire 2. So 6-4-2, everybody doing 10 grand, and we could show you how next year that's going to create a $2 million income. 6-4-2, Tia. How simple. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes,
and I'm sitting here reading off brand new people that are doing 29, 50, 29,000. Number 4 person in the country did 28. Okay?
Yes.
I will say that's in 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Okay, so really around 20,000 a month. So I can also show you this same diagram, Kyle. 5 grand a piece, 6-4-2 gets you $1 million income. Okay? That's the program I got to get driven into people's head is this is a very simple business. But you know what? I was on a conversation with a 22-year-old yesterday, and it was inconceivable to me, the contentness. Oh, my God. He didn't care anything about the dream. He was okay with it, but he wasn't on fire with it. You understand, I don't care that if you're not on fire with it, it don't bother me. But I promise you, I'm looking for people that are on fire with it. You with me? We have people that are changing their life today. Their life has changed. I get texts, I get emails, I get letters of people that saying, hey man, you have no idea the path I was going down. And then I met the Alliance, I met you, I met Paul Roberts, I met Tim Goad, I met Chris Long, and now look at my life now, I'm totally changed. And I hear people that are like, okay with that. They're okay with helping people, but not on fire with that. So there's on fire to change lives or on fire to make a boatload of money. If we can find those people, we can change the world and we can change your legacy. We have the vehicle for it, and I'm going to explain to you how to create the volume because we get paid on structure and volume. Today, we're more paid on structure than we are volume. I want to change it to where we're more paid on volume, not structure. Okay? A little bit of structure, but not so much structure, more on volume. So what I said, the note that I put out, I think said, I want to show you how to blow up the volume by learning the ABCs of MC Backup. Yep, that's it. How the ABCs of MC Backup can help you drive volume up. Okay. What you guys got to understand is Andy Riddle, blah, 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 Mark Marcellus, Olga Mathis. So we're 3 down. Then goes Terry and Tia. Then goes Grasshopper. Ain't that his name?
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah, Travis the Grasshopper. He hires Mia.
Right.
And then Mia's on the list.
Yep.
And then when you look at Jara Gonzalez, you follow, Chelsea, this is what I was talking about. You look at Jara Gonzalez. She's 12 down from Mike Leventovich. You with me, Kyle? Yep. Y'all got to get good at doing, how do I put it in words? You got to get good at going down deep and finding people. I was talking to a young man, 23 years old, and I said, is your team going to be on a call? He said, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm like, it's all you got to do in your life is get these 2 or 3 people on the call. You with me? Now, the only problem is if you look at me and you go, why do you care, Andy? Okay, you understand if none of y'all get rich, I can't get richer. Does that make sense? If none of you help anybody make a difference in anybody's life, I can't magnify what I'm doing. I can go out and help one person individually. What I'd like to have is 300 people changed. You with me? So I got to identify you. And if you say I'm identified, I'm your guy, I'm your girl, show me. Let's go. We're in a situation, Teresa, that you can go get big fast like crazy. But maybe you don't know how. If you don't know how, it's my fault. I'm going to try to talk about how. I'm excited about this Richard and Melissa Smith, Tim Long, Roland Profet under Paul Menichino. I don't know who that is. You're going to have to tell me who this is, Paul. And Darren White and Mia Fennell is number 5 in recruiting. She's number 4 in sales, number 5 in recruiting, and she's like 12 down from me. Y'all got to go deep. That's where you're going to find the diamonds. So both of these are 2018 people. When you go to 2017 people, Dia is whooping if you hire in 2017, Dia is hired this year and whooping you. Christian Cameron was hired this year and whooping you. Jared Gonzalez hired this year and whooping you. And Mia is hired this year and whooping you. 2018, we seem to have found better people than 2017. No offense to the 2017 graduates or enrollees. Eric Paul Cruz is number 5. Jessica Phillips, who's hired in 18, is beating all the 17 people. And Gary Bell. I can't explain it, but 18 seems to, look at all the yellows. Look at the yellows on there. Okay. You probably can't see it. It's not, oh, here we go. Does that do it? You see it. People in my office can see it.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. Recruiting's not as bad. 2017 people. Anthony Evans is winning that. He's hired by Paul Roberts. He was recruited in 2017, so he's winning his own contest. $5,000, Anthony Evans. That's what you stand to win. Kurt Denny is number 2. Richard Smith, who was 2018, is actually beating most of the people in 2017. So Paul Van Thoff is on there. I see his name pop up. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go to veterans. Veteran producers. We're at 11-8. Well, y'all understand, I was saying 642, 10,000 each will get you $2 million. Robert Wilson, in 5 weeks, has written 45,000 issue paid. He's leading the veterans. Junior Correa is at 42,000, and Eric Belair is 37,000. Coleman is at 37. Swindell is at 37,000. Jeannie Patel is at 36,000. Bill Cook's 35,000. Dia Gundor is number 9 in the country, even over veterans. He's got 34,000 points, credit points. Okay. All right. Recruiters, leading country. Kyle Cater right there. We've got you down with 46 with recruits in 5 weeks, and 11 of those have written business. The crazy thing is, you almost need to call off putting in width and just work depth and get some of those legs 12 deep. What I would do is pick the best ones. The best ones meaning the ones that best fit the Alliance Aiden description. I've now got this many Alliance. Look at this. The whole deck is full of Alliance Aidens. Pretty excited about this deck. Are you with me? So I want to hand out, see if y'all can grab you a Alliance Aiden and a Alliance, let me get me one of each. Get you one of each as long as the cards last. Because we're looking for couples that fit the description of Alliance Aiden and Alliance Alice. It wouldn't hurt if they look like them. But we've got a description that we have out there. I think, honestly, in 2018, we were more focused on hiring that type of people, and that's why they're smoking 2017. I think the better the chicken salad, probably the better the chicken was. No offense to the 2017. If you're in 2017, this is what I like about this is one of the things I like about our business. If you were hired in 2017, you're telling me not true. I'm sharper than them. I'm more motivated than them. I'm more educated than them. I'm more everything than them. Show me with the numbers. Show me with the results, not your intentions. I don't need your politics. I don't need your color, your race, your sex, your religion. What I'm looking for is the numbers. Remember when you joined this company, you said, I want something that judges me by the numbers, not who my mom and daddy is. Well, James, now you got the opportunity. So number 2 in the country is Levin Toviches. Number 3 is Mike Paleo. Number 4 is James Hill, James and Jane.
That's right.
You guys stand to win a lot of money at the end of this quarter. Every one of these people I'm calling their names, they're found in depth. Very seldom is it the guy or girl you hired. You got to get a list and go down deep. I also want to talk to you about the Phoenix. There is a Phoenix contest. I heard they're starting to do better issuing policies. To win this contest, you have to have 3 new legs that have produced volume. Michael and Michelle Alleman have now got 3 new legs selling, so they're in the Phoenix contest. Paul Roberts now has 3 new legs selling, so he's in the Phoenix contest. And James Hill has 3 new legs selling. Nobody else is even in the contest because they don't have 3 legs selling. Now, Marvin Osea has 2 selling, and Kerry Williams has 2, Tim Long has 2. As soon as they get 3 people selling in width, now we base it on the Phoenix term sales. So Michelle Alleman and Mike, they've issued 3,400, so they have a commanding lead with Phoenix term. Paul Roberts has 1,800 in number 2, and it looks like you guys got 1 or 2 cases at $753 in premium. So if nobody else gets a 3rd leg going and Phoenix sales, y'all are going to win. Because we're taking 3 couples. We're flying up on the jet. We're going to go to dinner. We're going to we're going to go to dinner with Phoenix executives, spend the night. We'll pay for everything. We get up and we go out and hang out with the Phoenix organization, and then fly back that night. We'll bring it on back to Burlington. Okay? So we're looking for people that are right in Phoenix and can put in width. All right. I spent quite a bit of time this morning talking to Chris Hill and Robbie Kraft and Chelsea about this very topic of going deep, of exploding volume. The dynamic that's hard to explain is the power of depth versus the power of width. If y'all have ever heard this, Africa is like 1,000,000 miles wide and a foot deep. America is deep. So if you look at a building, and it's 50 stories high, I promise you it has depth. The shock of that building goes deep into the earth. If a building is just a shanty, or like a what do you call them when refugees and a shanty town, one of those deals where millions of people or thousands of people live, and all it is metal and wire and cardboard and boards. That place has no depth, and it falls over like this. It just has no strength to it, has no foundation. What I'm trying to teach is you got to find a way to go down deep under somebody. You'll go, I'm gonna draw it on a sheet of paper. You'll go 12 deets. Let's call it 12 deets in butts, in people. As you go down in depth, you will find one organization, maybe 3 down, maybe 9 down, that more fit the Alliance Aden and Alliance description. Or maybe they're too old, or maybe they're only 18, or maybe they didn't have any education. They're not going to be perfect, but they're the most perfect. So now you've got you, and you've got this person, whoever that is. So it looks like you're only 2 deep in solid people, but you're 12 down in rear ends. And you know what I mean? Like everybody's got 2 eyes, everybody's got 1 butt hole. You know what I'm saying? So you're 12 deep in buttholes. You with me? But you're only 2 deep in sharp people that are not stupid. So you're calling other people stupid. No, I'm not calling them stupid. But Tara, hand me one of my 8 Steps books right there in front of you. See them down kind of left o'clock, like 9 o'clock. I promise you, if you go 12 down, and everybody's like your first guy you got, he's got 2 ding-dong heads he hired. Then you go down to the second layer, he's got 2 or 3 deep. And then the 4th layer, he's got 3 or 4 deep. Your best guy, if you text him and you say, hey, Bo, are you people going to be on a call? He's going to say, yeah, I've got Jenny, Martha, and Tim on a call. But this other guy you text, and he's going to say, I don't know. You with me? Matter of fact, he probably won't even respond to a text. A lot of them won't respond to text because they ain't got no job. They sleep until 9:30, 10, 8 o'clock. You with me? I'm not kidding. But when you got this one person down in there that when you text him, he answers back. You with me? Now, so what you've done is you've went 12 deep and you found 1 or 2 good ones. Now what you do is you call all of them on a conference call. We also call this a potluck, or we call it a team call, or we call it a terrorist team call. But what you do is, you've got all these people, you call them all together, and your center of attention is Aden, who's doing the 8 steps. He's reading books. He's your center of attention. He's the one you're building your relationship with. This book on relationship, you're trying to build a relationship with this guy. I've got an organization right now in depth. I call it, let me see if I can find Stephen Davies. I hired one guy one time off an ad, and he turned out to be the best of the 12. His name is Stephen Davies. So Stephen Davies hired a bunch of people, a bunch of rear ends, right? A bunch of tail holes, okay? And then they hired Ed Soto. So that Ed Soto, he does a lot of stuff with me in his Friendship Factor, and he also does a lot of stuff out of 8 Steps with me, Teresa. You with me? All those other butt heads or buttholes or whatever you want to call them, people, all those ordinary people don't do this. You with me? But I'm not being mean to them. I don't care. I'm not. If one of them comes up to me, I'll hug him. Hey, man, good to have you. If he wants to be on the call. Matter of fact, one of them might be on the call. I don't know. But I know Ed Soto is on the call. Well, then it holds a bunch of people. Michael Frederick. And then Michael Frederick hires Patzer. I promise you, that organization is generating more volume than the other organizations in the country because of the depth. Depth drives volume. Like with Mia, if I were y'all, 100% of my attention is to get her 12 wide, not get her to find one Alliance Aiden. Now, as she finds an Alliance Aiden, you want to find 4 wide or 5 wide in Alliance Aidens, and then maybe you call one list, Terry call a list, and Tia call a list, and since this one person, let them call the 5th list. Try your damnedest to get 12 deep. Does that make sense? It's not the same as 12 wide. If 12 wide, you have one person going to do it. These people are hard to talk to. 12 in depth, they get it. And you've got, like if you find a really good person 8 down, you've got 7 people above this person that can answer questions for them and can be their friend. If you're 12 wide, you're the only person that can help them. And it's a nightmare. So people say, well, why do you go width? You go wide just to go deep. That's the only reason. I have been telling this story for so long. It works like this. If you're digging a post hole, how many of y'all in here have used post hole diggers? This is probably, we're going to get post hole diggers and we're going to bring them in and we're going to go outside my office and we're going to dig a post hole. How many of you have seen that movie Holes, where the guy's digging holes? All right. You learn a lot from digging holes. That kid learned a lot from digging holes. Remember that? I watched that thing 3 or 4 times. Dig a hole and shut up. All right? When you dig a hole, you take a post hole diggers and you drive them down into the ground and then you pull them apart, which makes it hold the dirt, and then you pick it up and you take the dirt out so that you can go deeper. Once you do this, 5 or 6, 10 minutes, depending on how bad the dirt is, you're going to build a hole about 1 foot deep, and you're still doing good. When you go 2 feet deep, you can't pull the handles apart far enough to get any deeper because you can't pull the dirt out. So what you have to do is where you're hitting down, you have to move over to the right and over to the left and make the hole a little bit wider so that you can take the post holes and go down deeper and pull the dirt apart and take it out. The only reason you go wide is to go deep. Does that make sense? That's the only reason you're trying to get wider. We're trying to get 12 feet deep so we can hit gold, we can hit silver, we can hit water, we can pay dirt. We can find somebody intelligent if we go 12 deep. But you don't worry and stop here 1 foot deep and go like, I think I found something good here. I'm sifting around. Like, dude, go 12 deep and then look back up and see what you found. Now, if you have a terrible person who hires a terrible person, who hires a terrible person, who has a terrible person, you've now got 12 terrible people. The one better person is your best terrible person. That is not what we're looking for. What we really want to do is we want to go 12 deep in Alliance Aidens. Okay? So our preference, did everybody get 2 of those? Nobody, some of y'all didn't get 2? It's because y'all ain't looking hard enough. Here you go. Here you go. Pass them around. Okay. You go 12 deep in Alliance Aidens, and then you look back up. You're going to have one Alliance Aiden better than the others, and then a second Alliance Aiden better than the others. But if you're sitting there looking at one person and staring at him, you're not going to create volume. So the next, okay. Volume comes from depth, people. Now, you're down deep. You're down deep. You're going down. You're down here, and you look back up. What you do is you call a little conference call, and you don't worry about getting the world on. Just say, let's talk. Okay, now, you go back up. So let's say you're working 3 in depth, and he's a pretty good person. You get everybody on a call. You tell this 3 in depth. You show him how to contract other people so you don't have to do it every time. You show him, you tell him how the compensation system works again. You tell him how chargebacks work. You tell him how to get referrals. You tell this third person down everything. What's happening is y'all are hiring one person and you're trying to talk that chicken poop into becoming a piece of chicken thigh. And this is not going to happen. Evolution is not going to happen. Darwinism, or whatever you call it, is not going to happen below your... That's not what's going to happen. You're going to have to find that person in depth. Okay? So like Van Thoff, y'all keep wishing and praying for Van Thoff to do something big. Until y'all get 12 deep underneath him, until Paul Menachino gets 12 deep under him, it's going to be extremely frustrating. Once you go 12, you will have an Evan Patzer or a Frederick, and he will text you every day. He will call you back. He will text you out of the blue. He will send you pictures of his people. He will be reading books. He will be your guy. Now you got one guy. Now what you got to do is go 12 deep again. You with me? My organizations, when you look at these groups, like it goes Alex Fitzgerald, Paul Roberts, Michael Owens, Mike and Kerry Williams. That leg is 4 deep in key leaders. I didn't hire 4 people. I bet you that leg was 24 deep to get 4 key leaders. Does that make sense? Every single time. You go, Fitz hired Diane Lampy, who hired George Wilson, who hired Bell Krause, who hired Jake, who hired Bulis. How come he's not in there? I don't know why he's not in there. Brandon Bulis and Jennifer. So it goes Fitz, Diane Lampy, George Wilson. All those, that's 12 people, but 3 sifted out. You with me? That's the 3 that sifted out. So then it goes Brandon, Jake, Tim. Now, if we don't get under Tim, that leg is going to stymie unless we get under Tim and get a list under Tim and keep going deep. That leg is going to stymie. It's going to stop. And most of the time when a leg stops, it starts drying up. It's like a tomato. If you see a tomato getting bigger and more juicy and growing, it's going to keep doing that until it don't. And then when it don't, it's going to start shriveling back up. Does that make sense? Yes. Your life is going to be like that. I have a 90-year-old guy that I'm trying to get to come visit me. He won't take off work because he's afraid he's going to dry up and die. So one of my other friends is trying to get him to come see me, and he don't want to take off work. So then my other friend is going to play a trick on him and get him. He's going to have his boss tell him to go to the airport and pick up something, and then we're going to grab him and throw him on a jet and bring him up here and show him my office. Because he won't quit growing. He won't quit building. He won't keep going. He says, I will die if I keep working. He's retired 30 years at a textile mill, and he's now worked 20 years in the school system. And he's still full-time. He's over 5 high schools, does maintenance. You with me? You know these people that are drying up and dying. We know these businesses that are drying up and dying because they're not getting them deep. So what you do, you go 12 deep, then you do and by the way, the whole time I'm down in here, Kelly Haney just went to agency manager, and who else on Paul Roberts' team just went to agency manager? Huh? Yeah, Dr. Field just went agency manager. How come Paul Roberts is breaking agency managers and then this other organization is shrinking? Because he's doing what I'm telling you. Now, what we're putting together for 2019 is going to be more compelling, more enticing, more intriguing, more clear, more profitable, more everything to go deep and create massive volume. The only reason I hesitate to say that is, one, my voice is getting ready to go away. And number two, that's not changed. 2018, if you did this, you would create massive volume. In 2018, we are going to make some adjustments so it is crazier good. Did I mess up all that video?
I don't know.
You don't know? I don't either. Because I think, yeah. Okay, whatever. Billy said it didn't cause a problem. Okay. So, what I want to do is this on the conference line? Okay. All right. We've got a new leg that we started. Started through Matt Pogue. Where you at, Matt? Okay. So Peter Orozco is a new leg. You don't have that drawn out in front of you, do you, Matt? Okay. He says he's in Ohio working with a new leg. All right. I'm not sure if he's on this call. Hope he is. He had a flight this morning? Yeah. See, my question is, if he goes there and he's 1 deep or 2 deep and he thinks he's going to sit down with Mr. Sean, Mr. I'm the juice and I'm the best thing you've ever hired, which is what most people think they are. If he tries to make him into the juice, if he tries to make him into the all that and more, he's wasting his time. He's got to get a list, and he's got to go 12 deep and then look back up and see what we've got. If we try to work with Peter only and don't try to go deep, that's going to shrivel up just like so many legs have done in the past. My base, we've got to start maneuvering in depth. And what I get is, well, I work with this guy, and I work with this guy, and I work with this guy. Now I got no list to work. That means we got to get good at finding people on the list. Like, let me give you a good example, or let me give you an example. You've got agent A, and you've got agent B, and you've got agent C. So you're 3 down, and you're in Burlington, and 3 down is fired up out of their mind, but you can't. You need a little something more. Fly there. Talk to them. Get on their Facebook. Get into their phone. Well, they won't let me. Use your skills. Use your ability to get a list. You're 3 deep in decent people. Don't let the leg die. I'm sending, we've got Nicole. Brent Swindell, you're doing the right thing. Elisha and Mox are all on. Elisha, Ralph, and Mox. So we got a guy that we hired, and I think he's 3 wide on the call. So myself and Nicole have a guy who's 3 wide. We've got to get these 3 people to do MC backup. This is very critical that we start calling underneath these 3 people. Ideally, we get a list off of one of them, and Sean, the new guy, calls this list and tries to get them 4 wide. Ideally, I call another list, and we try to get them 4 wide. And then Nicole calls a list and try to get them 4 wide. So now we're 3 deep, 12 wide. So it goes Sean, these 3, and then 12. So it goes 1, 3, 12. So how is it possible that we die only 3 deep? Does that make sense? It should build like this going down. It shouldn't go like this. It should go like this going down. It should get wider the deeper we get. Now, we've also got Chris Hill could call a list, or Robbie Kraft could call a list. So what we could do is we could help Sean Boone. We could help this kid, this young man. We could help him build an agency manager building with just rear ends. In other words, he's going to be really wide and really deep. He's going to be an agency manager with just people, not premium. But the premium is going to come with the depth. Does that make sense? Like it's the dynamics. Let me give you another dynamic. I don't know if you know this, but did y'all know that gravity pulling down is how you build a bridge? Okay, the way it works, you take a beam and another beam and you put it like this. Now, if you put pressure on top of this pyramid, you could build a road across this pyramid. See how if you had a 2x4, boom, and another 2x4, boom, and you line it up like a pyramid, push down on that. Gravity is causing it. See, come here, Kyle. Push down on that right there. If you push down on this right here, if you push down on that, see, push harder. Come on, man. Come on, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? See, if I just do my hand like that, but if I use gravity pulling these 2 together, so if I took 2x4s and put them together, the way I'm trying to explain to you is that's the way volume works. You go 12 deep, you create volume. If you put 2 2x4s together at an angle, you create a force that's to reckon with. You can build a bridge across that force. But if you just take a 2x4 and put it like this, it's crashing. But when you put it like this, you can build on top of it. If you build it like a pyramid, you can build on top of it. But if you build it flat, there's no pyramid to it. There's push down on that. See, that we have no structure. If all you are is wide, that's why, you understand, Africa, the continent of Africa, is owned by this country, this country. Nobody, it's not built up. You with me? And anytime you have a flatlands, a deserts, the bush, there's nothing structural that's deep, and there's nothing to build with. Does that make sense? It's the same thing with friendships. You know, me and Adam Katz have a long friendship. Me and Fitz have a long friend. There's a lot that we've built on. If all you've done is met a person once, you have nothing to build on. But the deeper you get, now it's me and Adam, now it's his children, my children. We're building depth. So this structure, you can say, I don't want to keep holding up. This structure, I'm telling you, I'm down. All right. So it's almost like I'm asking you to have blind faith. But once you've done it a couple of times, now it'll become clear to you that this is the way you build a bridge. This is how you build volume. You get wide, you go 12 wide or 6 wide, you get the 2 best people, and then you build 4 deep. You get 8 lists and go 4 deep and just keep going down. And you can't, the problem is when you get down here and you're 12 lists, so this person has 4 people, this person has 4, this one has 4, you got 12 lists. Which list do you call? I would call the one that most looks like and acts like this. Does that make sense? You become pickier and pickier in depth unless you get Patzer. If Patzer comes along, he's down in deep, way down. It goes Davies, Soto, Frederick, Patzer. I'm telling Patzer, and if I'm Davies, and I'm Frederick, I'm calling every list he produces. If he gets a new guy, I'm going to call that guy's list. If he gets a new guy, I'm going to call that guy's list. Because I'm trying to get this dadgum thing from Patzer 12 deep. Because if I can go 12 deep from Patzer, I promise you, I'm going to have 2 pretty good guys in there. Does that make sense? Then people say, well, how do you explode volume? You show all 12. So you got a list like this. You have a conference call. This is you. You came from up here and you're out here to the width. You do a conference call with these people. Or, I asked Nicole, she's working with that group in Miami. I said, do a potluck, do a get-together. So she flies down there. What I need to do is get Chris Hill down there, but wherever these 3 people, and he also hired his mom, which will be a 4th, go to that mother, go to those 3 guys and get that list and start calling it right now. Don't just stand back and say, ain't none of them doing nothing. They just in class. They just lazy. They won't do nothing. Go to them and talk them into a list. You with me? It'd be the same thing. Here's what's the equivalent of. Your new agent goes into a house and comes back and says, them people idiots down there. They don't care nothing about the family. I didn't sell them no policy or nothing. So I think it's funny that they didn't get nothing. And they're not taking care of their family. They just dum-dums. They stupid. Hold on a second. Aren't you the sales guy? Weren't you supposed to coach them how to do right? So when you go 3 in depth, and you can't get a list, you say, they just don't care. They lazy. They don't care nothing about nothing. Let me tell you something. It's not them, Bubba. It's you. You didn't get what you come for. Does that make sense? So that's when I say when you're maneuvering down here in depth, your job is to figure out how to get a list, get 4 or 5 wide, get a list, go 4 or 5 wide, do a potluck, do a small conference call, do a training session, show them how to get referrals, show them how to call the carriers, show them all how to do pending, show all 12 how to do it. But one of them is your guy, and that's who you spend a lot more time with, or your girl. This is how it works. Texting is not terrible. Emailing does not seem to be as good. People don't seem to read emails. I don't care if they come from their best friend. I don't care if it says free sandwiches there. It seems like they don't read emails. I have noticed that younger people are having a hard time with email, and some of them use this messenger maybe. With my kids, I was like, how do you communicate? And they don't. Text is the best. They do this thing called Snapchat, which is not the same thing as information exchange going back and forth. And some people say, well, this new generation, it's the same thing. I can show you dumb 50-year-old after dumb, after dumb, after dumb, after dumb, after dumb 50-year-old, and then one good one. And then I can go down to 40-year-olds, and I can go dumb, 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 dumb. Oh, here's a good one. So the same thing when it goes to 30-year-olds. Stupid, stupid, broke, broke, dumb, dumb, dumb. Here's a good one. It's going to be the same thing when you get down to 24-year-olds. Dumb, dumb, lazy, drug addict, messed up, messed up, messed up. Good one. That's your job, is to go down finding good people. I don't care what age it is, except for the age that we really know is going to win is if we can find these Alliance Aiden cards. Finding them and then getting under them is critical. Y'all tracking with me on this? I am going to do 100 times better job with my base shop of looking how deep they are and coaching them how to get deep, what to say, how to do a small team conference call, how to get Robbie to do that call, and do it interactively with TLC, which is teach, listen, and correct. Ask them to give him feedback, and then let's look at the results, and let's do some coaching, not criticizing, but coaching. Get that group together and coach, and your volume will explode out of depth. You with me? What we want to see is what I want to do is show a new person that I hire. I want to show Sean. I want to show Peter Roscoe. My fear, Peter Roscoe, would be that Sean does 50,000 before you. Sean's doing 0. Peter's doing 38,000. If Peter does 38 next month, 38 next month, 38 next month, and Sean comes along and does 5, 15, 30, 50. You with me? Which organization you want? 5, 10, 15, 30, 50, or 38? 38, 38, 38. Don't get me wrong. You want the 38, but what if the 50 goes to 100 and the 50 goes to 1,000,000? Yep. This is the way you explode a group, is you keep driving at depth and looking for the right person and doing these potlucks, these get-togethers, these over at their house, 3 or 4 hours, just calling, working together, teaching. So teaching that little network that Mia's got, but then getting the deepest person and getting 12 deep underneath them, or 2 legs and 12 deep under them, and then do a pull together for this leg under Mia, and then a pull together for this leg under Mia, and explain it to everybody, and the one that you like the most, get a list, go deep, and then teach her to go with. You got to get people following you too. In other words, if you're down in here, you want Brittany to come. You want Tanya to come down here. You want Mike to come down here. You want to bring them with you and show what you're doing in depth, so that it's not just you doing all the work in depth and driving yourself crazy. All right. We have a national convention coming up. Some people are having these potlucks, these get-together, and they're getting all their people to come to national conventions. Paul Roberts, Diane Lampy, Patzer, Soto. There's some organizations that are, and the deeper you get, the easier it is to get them to go to convention. You watch the dynamics, because they want to come, okay? January 24th through the 27th. Get them marked on their calendar, get their ticket ordered, follow up, make sure they filled it out right, help them get a hotel, help them get airline, help them get transportation. Game plan so that you bring more people to national convention that you've ever brought before. Volume is going to come out of depth. People attending conventions are going to come out of depth. If you go all wide, you're going to have a hard time getting them there. You go down in depth. Once this guy says he's coming, he's fired up out of his mind, this person wants to come because they don't want to lose that override. Then this person wants to come because they don't want to lose those overrides. And this person comes because they don't. You with me? Your team by finding somebody in depth and starting that fire down here so that when it gets hot, it burns up and the upline feels the heat and the pressure and they get off their butt and get moving somewhere. All right? All right, guys. Hope this helped. That's our game plan. We're going to try to smoke some people with our game plan. Hope y'all figure it out because we don't want y'all to not come with us. Love you. Go get you a jet. See ya.